Welcome back, everybody. Elder Wolf here. We are back for another pack opening. As you can see here, we have 22 packs to open. This time around, I just got back from family vacation, which was really lovely, and haven't had a chance to record in just a little while. So looking forward to getting into some more content. Since I was on vacation, Bloomburrow was released. I have not played any of the set just yet. And I have seen a couple of streamers that I watch just a couple of matches. So I've seen, some of the cards, but not a lot. So most of these cards will be the first time that I'm reading through them. I will again focus mostly on the rares. And then we'll finish up going into our winnings of Outlaws of Thunder Junction. And then there were a couple of one-offs that I got from the last season of the progression. I forgot what it's called. I was up to like level 80 something and got a couple more packs that way. So without further ado, let's jump into our first pack of Bloomburrow. Okay, Cruel Claws Heist, 2 Swamp, Sorcery Speed, and it has the option of gifting a card. That's a new mechanic in Bloomburrow, is you can choose as an alternate option when you cast a spell with gift. In this sense, or in this particular spell, you can gift a card, which means your opponent can draw a card. So your opponent reveals their hand, you choose a non-land card from it, you exile that card. And if the gift was promised, that is, your opponent draws a card, you may cast that card as long as it remains exiled, and mana of any type can be spent to cast it. So very good card. I would probably first pick this one. It is heavy black, but it is such a powerful effect for a cheap cost. I really like that one a lot. I will mention this uncommon here, Seedglaive Mentor. I've seen a few matches played with this. The Valiant mechanic really goes off in limited, and this one in particular, if you have any pump effects or something as a combat trick, then it gets pumped, with a 1/1 counter. Only can happen once per turn, but can really go off in a limited. So, and the red-white Boros mice deck is really powerful from what I've seen so far. Let's go on to the next one. Caretaker's Talent. Oh, the enchantments, the class enchantments are back also in Bloomburrow. And so that means you play the enchantment for its cast cost, and then you get the first level 1 effect as its base, and then at sorcery speed you can pay whatever the cost is next to the levels to permanently unlock that ability on the enchantment while it remains on the battlefield. So this one is whenever 1 or more tokens you control enter, draw a card. That only triggers once each turn. There are lots of tokens with the offspring mechanic in Bloomburrow. And green-white is definitely the archetype for really focusing on tokens and going wide. And so this would be a great pickup for that one. Level 2, when this class becomes that level, create a token that's a copy of target token you control for a single mana. And when you think about it, and you press that, you basically can draw a card for 1 mana, assuming you have a token on the battlefield. And then for 4 mana, tokens get +2/+2. So very powerful if you want to really just lock in your probably green-white token offspring deck. You can go ahead and just pick this up for first pick. Definitely first pickable, I think. Definitely something that's nice if you've been selecting green and white, and in pack 2 you open this, or especially pack 3, you're super happy. First pack, pick one, pack 1, pick one. It has to be token, so I'm not sure I would take it first, but you can try to force it out of the gate and see what happens. Okay, Iridescent Vinelasher, 1 mana 1/2 with offspring of 2, and it has the landfall ability. Whenever a land you control enters, this creature deals 1 damage to target opponent. So basically, if you pay 3, you get a offspring as a 1/1 token of this creature with the same text, and so basically each land now deals 2 damage to the target opponent. I think this is definitely first pickable. Wonderful card. Even in the late game, you can come down and now lands start doing something for you. I really like that card quite a bit. Next one, Scavenger's Talent, the enchantment class in black. And this one is whenever one or more creatures you control die, create a food token. It only triggers once per turn. So instead of drawing a card, now you're from the other enchantment, you create a food token. And then level 2, whenever you sacrifice a permanent, target player mills 2 cards. That could be, a food token when you sacrifice it. And then level 3, at the beginning of your end step, you may sacrifice 3 other non-land permanents. If you do, return a creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield with a finality counter on it. This wants to live in the green-black deck, as you can imagine, with the squirrels. And again, kind of like the white enchantment class enchantment. I'm not sure pack one, pick one I would go with this, but if you're in the black-white deck or the black-green deck, this could be a great pickup later. All right, let's go on to the next one. Let's see what we have. Lunar Convocation, 2 mana enchantment. At the beginning of your end step, if you gain life this turn, then each opponent loses a life. And at the beginning of your end step, if you gained and lost life this turn, create a 1/1 black bat creature token with flying, and then you can pay 2 mana and 2 life to draw a card. Obviously, this is the black-white enchantment synergy where you focus on gaining life and losing life to have different effects. Again, these enchantments for pack one, pick one, it's tough. You can take it and try to go down that road. This locks you into 2 colors, which is tricky if it's pack one, pick one. But if you're in the black-white deck and you see this coming around to you, it's a wonderful pickup. I think it's a solid card. Not a bomb, but a solid card. Next one that we have, Vren the Relentless, Dimir colors, 4 mana, 3/4, ward 2. If a creature an opponent controls would die, you exile it instead. So it's really good against decks that have graveyard synergies. And then at the beginning of each end step, not just yours, but yours and your opponent's, you create X/1/1 black rat creature tokens. If this creature gets +1/+1 for each other rat you control, where X is the number of creatures your opponents controlled that were exiled this turn. So a really good card. I would be more tempted to pick this as a pack one, pick one, build around than the enchantments, just because that's a much more powerful ability, I think, over the course of the game. And this obviously creates lots of tokens as well. All right, next one. Valley Rotcaller, Squirrel Warlock, 2 mana, 1/3, Menace. Whenever this card attacks, each opponent loses X life and you gain X life, where X is the number of other squirrels, bats, lizards, and rats you control. Definitely first pickable. I think this is a great build around. You don't even have to be or you have black and you can either go white or green, but I would say probably white is where this wants to live. Black-white is, that is. Definitely easily first pickable. I think this is a great card. All right, next pack. Wick the World Mine. 4 mana, 2/4, and whenever Wick or another rat you control enters, create a 1/1 black snail creature token. If you don't control a snail, otherwise, put a 1/1 counter on a snail you control, and then with Grixis colors, sack a snail, and then Wick deals damage equal to the sacrificed creature's power to each opponent, then draw cards equal to the sacrificed creature's power. Yeah, this is a pretty good one. I'd be tempted to take this pack one, pick one. Obviously, you want to be in the Grixis colors to really utilize this, but if you had just rat synergies in general, it can still be very good, but you obviously would try to shoot for Grixis if you open this one. And if you were black-blue or black-red in this open, obviously you could splash the Grixis color to do the ability, the activated ability. But yeah, I would definitely pack one, pick one, Wick the World Mine. So I'm opening quite a bit of black rares here. Maybe I'll try to do a standard deck or something with rats. This continues. Thorn Vault Forager, 2 mana, 2/2 Squirrel Ranger. This is a mana ramper. As well, you can forge. So forge is a new ability where you can either sack a food or you exile 3 cards from your graveyard. And so you can forge to add 2 mana in any combo of colors, and then you can pay 4 mana and tap the forager and search your library for a squirrel card, reveal it, and put it in your hand. Yeah, solid card, especially for the squirrel deck. Yeah, I'd be tempted to probably go ahead and take this pack one, pick one. But if you're in the green colors in general, having mana ramp and in forge ability is really solid to have. Okay, last Bloomburrow pack. Mist Breath Elder, a frog warrior, 1 mana, 2/2. At the beginning of your upkeep, return another creature you control to its owner's hand. If you do, put a counter on this one. Otherwise, you may return Mist Breath Elder to its owner's hand. So it's a may, not a must. Yeah, solid pick. This is great for the blue-green frog deck, which is all about blinking, flickering, whatever you want to call the mechanic. And yeah, I would probably pick one, pick one, this one. All right, let's go back to Outlaws of Thunder Junction. I really enjoy this set. If you've watched a lot of my videos, you know that. Let's see here. Free Strider Lookout. Love this card. 3 mana, 3/3 reach. And whenever you commit a crime, you look at the top 5 and you can put a land card from among them onto the battlefield tapped. So yeah, it's just a value card. Definitely not a bomb, but great value over time. Really enjoy Free Strider Lookout quite a bit. Magda, the Horde Master, 2 mana, 2/2. When you commit a crime, create a tapped treasure token that only triggers once a turn, and then you can sack 3 treasures at instant speed to create a 4/4 red scorpion dragon creature token with flying and haste. So this wants to live in a deck with lots of treasure creation ability. And yeah, probably the black red in general, but yeah, I would I don't know, pack one, pick one. Depends on what else is in the pack if you're doing limited for Outlaws of Thunder Junction, but a solid card nonetheless. Satoru, the Infiltrator, 2 mana, 2/3 menace. And when Satoru and or one or more other non-token creatures you control enter, if none of them were cast or no mana was spent to cast them, you draw a card. So really wants to live in the plot deck, or return from battlefield type effects, or graveyard, sorry. So yeah, solid card. Not sure if I would first pick this one in a limited draft, but a powerful card if you get a lot of plot, for sure. Good value card. Vanishing Verse. Exile target mono-colored permanent for black. Yeah, solid card. Super solid card. And then the Tumblewag. I would first pick the Tumblewag over the Vanishing Verse. If you were playing either white or black, and then you open this, easy splash, very, very, very playable. But the Tumblewag is just great because it puts counters on a target creature at the beginning of combat, and then if it's saddled, you can double the number of counters on a target creature, including itself. So it can get out of hand very quickly. And let's go and open another one, 3 steps ahead. I've played with this a lot. I think in limited, it's a great card. I did first pick one, this one in one of my drafts and did well in that draft. There weren't many other cards in that particular pack one that I remember that was leaning me like a hard removal I probably would pick over this, but the versatility of the spree cards are awesome. So I really enjoy the spree cards in this set. Any kind of versatility or options just really helps when you're playing Magic. Okay, we get a wild card. I will take it. Slick Shot Show Off. 2 mana, 1/2 flying haste. And whenever you cast a non-creature spell, it gets +2/+0 into end of turn. Very similar to Prowess, a set of +1/+1. It gets +2/+0. This is seeing a lot of play in the mono red aggro decks and standard, just because it's flying, it's plot. You can just set up for a lot. I would probably pick one, this one, but it's got to be, you're going for hard aggro with this, either straight mono red or blue red. is where this wants to live in limited. But I really enjoy this card quite a bit. But it is pure aggro is what you're wanting with this card. Okay, 3 more of Thunder Junction. And we have a, yeah, I'll take that, a wild card, and then Siphon Insight, 2 mana. Look at the top 2 cards of target opponent's library. You exile one of them face down and put the other on the bottom. You may play the exiled card for as long as it remains exiled. You may spend mana as though it were mana of any color to cast that spell. And it has flashback. Great value card. Yeah, just a really good value card. Instant speed is great because you can hold up other things, and then if nothing happens, you can cast Siphon Insight and just get some hard value out of this. I really like this. Not sure about pack 1, pick 1, but if you're playing either blue or black colors, this is easily splashable in my mind. I would play that. 2 more of Thunder Junction. Reaches, the Blastmaker. 3 mana, 3/3 menace, and when you cast your second spell each turn, you may sacrifice an artifact. If you do, you flip the coin. When you win the flip, copy the spell. When you lose the flip, then Breaches deals damage equal to that spell's mana value to any target. You just really want, this is more constructed than limited. It's really tough in Outlaws of Thunder Junction to get a lot of treasure generation. If you do, go for it. But in general, it becomes more like a 3 mana, 3/3 menace, which is still good with some option for high upside. But yeah, not first pack, not pack 1, pick 1 pickable in my opinion. All right, last pack of this set. Pillage the Bog, 2 mana sorcery. Look at the top X of your library, where X is twice the number of lands you control. Put 1 of them into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library. Just a good fetch card. Very good late game. Not sure about pack 1, pick 1, but good value if you're in the green-black colors for sure. All right, now we're going solo pack for March of the Machine. One of my favorite sets that I played in physical form. Hidetsugu and Kairi, 5 mana, 5/4 flying, and when this creature enters, you draw 3, then put 2 cards from your hand on top of your library in any order, and then when this card dies, exile the top card of your library, and target opponent loses life equal to its mana value. If it's an instant or sorcery card, you may cast it without paying its mana cost. So lots of things you can do here. You really want to set up your top card of your library, and then if you had a sacrifice effect on this, you could do all kinds of crazy damage if you could set that up. But yeah, it's a solid card. I would be tempted to pick this one first, but it is hard blue and it puts you in 2 colors out of the gate, but pretty powerful effect because it is also a flyer for 5 mana flyer. 5 power flyer for 5 is always really, really good. And then we have the Brothers War artifact heavy set, and Tokasia's Welcome, 3 mana enchantment. Whenever 1 or more creatures you control with mana value 3 or less enter, draw a card. It only triggers once each turn. Yeah, solid card, especially for the small like white weenie decks, white blue flyer decks that are small in mana value. Yeah, very good card. And limited, definitely pickable, pack 1, pick 1, because it, you know, you can really start to build around but have options. You only have a single card. Okay, and that is this video for opening packs. If you like the content, yeah, please like it, subscribe to the channel. Really appreciate everyone's support, and I will be getting into some limited content for Bloomburrow here very soon. Thanks again, everybody, and see you next time.